Chapter 5. Bursting Out of the Shadow. Carlo and Luigi trudged down the dirt track toward the village. They had to keep to the side, out of the way of the line of cars driving down the mountain. Strange. Hardly anyone normally drives on here, said Carlo. The grape fight with Luigi had been fun, but now he was getting a strange feeling that something was wrong. Hey, are you still feeling that funky rhythm? Asked Luigi. It's gotten faster, hasn't it? Carlo realized that it had. What if his mom was right about the volcano this time? Just then he heard his name being called. Carlo Corelli! Carlo looked around. Luigi pointed up again at the 4x4 sporting the logo of the Vesuvius Observation Center. Carlo expected to see his mom, but instead he saw Marco leaning out of the window, calling his name through a megaphone. The boys dodged the slow-moving line of traffic and ran over to see him. The 4x4 was full of people clutching their belongings, including Luigi's parents. Ciao! Luigi greeted them. Come va? How are things? The people moved over to make space for Luigi as he climbed in. So, said Luigi, grinning at all the serious faces in the car, where are we going? Down the mountain to safety, said Marco. The volcano is about to erupt. You hop in too, Marco, or Carlo, and I'll give you a lift to the piazza. Your mom's there waiting for you. She's been going crazy with worry. Carlo could see that it would take the 4x4 ages to get to the piazza in this traffic jam. I know a shortcut by foot. It'll be quicker, he told Marco. He took off down the track as fast as he could, his legs pumping and his heart beating wildly. He felt like he was racing against the volcano. At last, he reached the path and then the piazza. There was hardly anyone there, only Major Fabiano and a man with a video camera. They didn't look at all panicked. Have you seen my mom? Carlo asked the mayor, gasping for breath. She's been worried about you, young man, said the mayor. She does worry a lot, doesn't she? Carlo looked at the other man. Hey, you're the reporter from the TV news, aren't you? He asked in surprise. The man grinned. See, that's me. Carlo, at last! Rosa reappeared from the alley next to their building on the edge of the piazza. She gave Carlo a warm hug and a kiss on each cheek. Normally he would have been embarrassed, but he could see the concern on his mother's face. I am so sorry, Mama. Luigi and there's no time now, Carlo. We need to hurry. Rosa led Carlo to the alley where her old rusty Vespa scooter was waiting. Rosa had attached the sidecar and filled it with bundles of clothes and other things. Carlo remembered how he used to love to ride in the sidecar when he was a little boy as his mom zoomed around on the scooter. Rosa handed him a helmet and put one on herself, and then she climbed onto the scooter and gestured for Carlo to climb on behind her. She revved the engine, and then they were off. Carlo held tightly to his mom's waist as Rosa expertly leaned in and out of the curves in the road. He was grateful she hadn't lost her touch on the old scooter. He felt as if they were flying down the mountain road, winding around and around the legendary Mount Vesuvius. Suddenly, the mountain shook with a fierce power. The scooter wobbled, and Carlo held on to his mother, afraid they would topple off the mountain. Quickly, Rosa maneuvered the scooter away from the edge of the road, and they clambered off, huddling next to the upper slope. They clung onto each other as rocks and dirt fell down the slope on top of them, pinging off their helmets. Carlo closed his eyes, but still the world shook. He wondered if a crack was going to open up in the mountain and swallow them. This earthquake was by far the strongest yet. When the shaking finally stopped, Carlo opened his eyes. He and his mom were all right, but the road was covered in rubble, and he could see actual cracks in the mountain, and what looked like steam coming out. He smelled the distinct odor of rotten eggs. Beneath her helmet, his mom's face was pale. This is what happened at Mount St. Helens. First there was a violent earthquake, and then the volcano erupted. Carlo's mind whirled. For some reason, what came into his head was an image of a nearly deserted piazza. What will happen to the mayor and the news reporter, he asked. They're still in Monte Vista. Rosa made a quick decision. We'll have to go back and get them. Let's go, Carlo. He climbed back onto the scooter behind his mother, and together they raced over this rubble-strewn road back toward the village.